Dam Committee, which would serve as a blueprint for the resumption of oil exploration. Key amongst all of them was the establishment of a university. So the government established the Federal University of Environment and Technology in Ogoniland, with Professor Don Baridam appointed as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council. This appointment is seen by some as a direct response to the committee's call for sustainable development, and also an acknowledgement of Professor Baridam's role in the dialogue. Well, the last part of it, I'm not very sure, but it's part of some of the things that were demands that were made. There was also the directive for immediate engagement. The president also had directed the National Security Advisor to immediately begin engagement with the NNPC Limited, Ogoni communities, and other stakeholders to finalize modalities for the resumption of oil exploration. It's also seen as an official step to move the dialogue process forward. There was also a call to focus on environmental remediation, where the president has also directed the Minister of Environment to integrate environmental remediation into a broader dialogue framework, include more people into the picture, while the full cleanup is a core demand which has been on for a long time. This directive from the president shows that the government is trying to acknowledge the issue as a central part of this negotiation process. All right. So all of these actions, for many, has indicated a willingness that the government wants to engage, and they do not yet represent a full fulfillment of the demands. Now, the demands are a lot. Structured participation in oil production, framework for sustainable development, accelerated environmental cleanup, etc., etc. We don't have all the time to go into all of the details. But the fundamental question now for many is whether oil exploration, it is time for the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoniland, or are there still other things that need to be looked into? The movement for the survival of Ogoni people, which is the umbrella body of Ogoni people, had also made its position clear. Its demands, which are often rooted in the original Ogoni Bill of Rights, that's where they've originally put their demand, which is number one, and very important, full implementation of the UNEP report. How far have we gone with those things? Because there are demands that need to be met, which were the conditions given before full access can be given for oil exploration to resume in Ogoni. The governor has said he's going to see that these problems are solved and tackled. The president seemed to be keen, not the president, the federal government seemed to be keen on resuming oil exploration in Ogoni. And of course, you understand why. Economically, we need that. We have quotas to meet. We have to ramp up oil production. And hence, there's a need to tap into what's there in Ogoni land. Is it time? Should Ogoni people at this moment look at it and put grievances aside, come together and say, okay, we have to also bend to some degrees and allow this to work? That is the major question. That is the major question. Masop had demanded that oil companies, particularly Shell, be held accountable for the past environmental damages and human rights violations. Many have questioned the cleanup process. In fact, some have even called for a revisit of the UNEP report because of current day realities. So it's a lot when you look at how it goes back and forth. It's a lot. There's also the National Youth Council of Ogoni people, who have emphasized the inclusion of youth and women. They have demanded that youth and women in the area are fully involved in every negotiation process. Now, some will look at the committee that's currently discussing with the president and say, well, that doesn't carry the youth along. But I'm pretty sure the idea is these people come back and have meetings with their people, and the message is spread down to the bottom, and everybody gets fair hearing. There was also call for equity participation. And then this was the big one, the exoneration of Ken Sarawiwa and others, which was where a lot of people had issues when there was a pardon, because for some, a pardon meant you did it, so we are pardoning you. No, they did not do it, so it should not be a pardon but an exoneration. There was that argument when, if you remember vividly, we had that conversation in details here. But I'll just go to the phone lines now. Let's maximize the much that we can and hear from you. Are we ready? Is it time? Should the Ogoni people now begin to say, okay, let us make this happen for not just our benefit, but the whole of Nigeria? We can't continue dragging this, and now is the time. And if now is the time, is the committee headed by Professor Don Baridam the one that would finally come up with a solution, an agreement that would be seen as fair for all involved? 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. You can also call 0817 923 0007. All these numbers you can call to get through to us. And when you get on, straight to your response. You know what the question is, what the conversation is. We need your response straight and keep it short. Justice in Egbelu, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, go on, please.
Well, I think there is a struggle for settlement has been on for a very long time, and the stopping of exploring oil has also, taken a long time. So this is not a new thing. I feel that the government is responding, but at this point, the government should do more to respond, let's say, about 70% of this demand, because we know what actually happened in the Ogoni land. They've not had a very good life. And if this government, Tinubu's government, is looking at it, settlement must be done. Problem would not continue forever. But with the Nigerian thing, that something is started and all of a sudden on the way is just stopped. Let it go to about 70-80% of this agreement. And the oil exploration should resume. So I don't see anything really stopping it totally. The people are willing that this exploration should come back, but the government should do their own part and should be sincere. Because we've heard many things. Look at the ASU, look at the other unions that have, come into agreement with the federal government. And all of a sudden, they don't seem to keep it when the people release their own side. So the government should be held responsible to the point of, at least achieving 70% of these things.
Okay.
And, because they will be on the gaining side. It is business. It's not just doing it for the people. But there are things that would definitely come from that part of the world. So that's my take on it.
All right, Justice. Well said. I think there are gains for this. Some say there are political gains. Of course, there will be, because if that is happening, it means the president would have to get a lot of support come the election from this area, which is also a strategy many think politicians have been applying. The Buhari time, those conversations came. Look at it till now. We're still battling this. But at the time, everybody started hailing Buhari and spitting on good luck and felt like, oh, yes, there was one doing it. And there were some dissenting voices, however, that felt like this for me is just to get political viewpoints. Yes, they are going to put it and say, oh, yes, we're doing this, and everybody's going to rally and then get support because you think that this person has to win to continue this work. Which is where, honestly, you would say if people have concerns, it's very fair to say that. What if, we've agreed, and then, of course, we need to meet up our production quota. There's also the idea of the elections and all that will come, and then the government comes in and begins to get that, and then the other part of the agreement is delayed. What happens? So, yeah, honest one. God's power from Rumudara. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother Andrew.
Yeah, you sound really low.
Yes, my name is Aiba Koto.
Go on, please.
Yes. Andrew, first I want to commend the prominent Ogoni leaders that we are saddled with the responsibility to engage with stakeholders and chapters in Ogoni land to see the way forward on how oil production can resume in Ogoni land. Andrew, I must tell you that lessons have been learned. And with our experiences with Shell in the past, I think this engagement with the federal government to resume oil in Ogoni land has been much engaging, and by the grace of God, Andrew, I must tell you, that we have seen the sincerity of the government. And for those that will be coming to do business of oil in Ogoni land, in as much as the Ogoni people doesn't have, the sole power to decide how to do their business, but the Ogoni people have seen that, yes, as a people, we have the power and the right to know and decide what we want as a people. And by the grace of God, I think this is very time there will be so much benefit accrued to the Ogoni people if oil is resumed in Ogoni land. And I will also, appeal to other people that has different views and all that to give these people an opportunity and chance, because if the oil keeps on remaining under the ground, there is no way we will benefit. But with this now, there will be so many opportunities that will come to Ogoni land, River State, and the Niger Delta as a whole. So to me, it's a welcome development. To me, it's something that everybody should embrace and pray that it comes to fruition, because it will be a benefit to all.
All right, God's power. Thank you. Saying government commitment from the government, I think you'd agree, because honoring the Ogoni 9 first and then coming to honor the Ogoni 4, that's significant. Significant. Muriel in Okrika, good morning.
Hello, Ifiemi, good morning.
Yes.
Wow, I've waited so long, more than 5 minutes, Ifiemi.
Thank you.
Well, I think there was a video I watched, and I saw someone was trying to kill a dog, and they put in a sack a very big bone with flesh around it, and they threw it inside, and they now opened it. The dog looked at it and was so interested. He now ran into it just to catch it, and they tied the bag. I think as they tied it, they now started killing the dog. Everyone understands this video. Look, Ifiemi, I think it's all a bit honoring the dead to kill the living. That's what I see federal government just doing. Did Ogoni people tell Tinubu and his government that just honoring their past, their dead and heroes is all they need before they begin work on them? It's just to honor the dead, and then they start exploration. Immediately you've handed it over to Ribadu. Oh, let them start. Only just honor their dead and start. How they don't even care about the living. Unfortunately, Ifiemi, some Ogoni daughters and sons will come out and say, "Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate this honor. Thank you." Forgetting that the reasons why they locked up their oil wells, why they refuse, the core reasons have not been taken care of. The living is still suffering. The government don't care about the living. Just honor the dead and kill the living, and don't care about the living and go on. That is what the federal government is doing. Have they done even half or quarter of the demands of the Ogoni people? Have they started cleaning? Have they cleaned maybe half? Okay, we say, okay, they've done more than half. Okay, let's just consider, let them start while they are continuing. Have they even started? What about, go to Ogoni land? There is no light, no good roads. This is a land where they have good oil. I always praise Ogoni people for even having the mind to lock up their wells. If other Niger Delta communities can do that, I will praise them.
All right, Muriel, unfortunately, we have a commercial coming, so I have to interrupt you. Lepele from GRA, if you can call us back, please do so as well.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria in
Morning. Let's continue with the conversation. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. If you didn't follow from the start, you can go on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That would help give you proper perspective as to what the conversation is about. So go listen and watch, and then you know how to follow up with your response. In the meantime, the number to call is 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003, or you call 0817-923-0007. Any of those numbers will get you through to us. Should Ogonis now say it is time to put aside the grievances, differences, look at what the government is doing, trust the process, and allow for resumption of oil exploration, which seemed to be the ultimate reason? If you ask many people, they would say why the government is doing what it's doing. Because think about it, if the federal government believes that these Ogoni heroes deserve these honors, then he would argue that you don't need to use the honor as a tool to pacify the people so you can get access to the oil. So if that's the case, it really means that from the start, you never thought about or wanted to do this. So we're just trying to twist you into doing it, and you're using it as a way to also get what you want from us. That would be the argument of some people. And would you say they are wrong? I don't think you'd want to disagree with them if they see it that way, because rationally thinking about it as an outsider looking in, devoid of any sides, that's how it looks. Classic negotiation. Well, let's go back to the phone lines. JJ is in Rumigbo. Good morning, JJ.
Andrew, good morning.
Yep, go on, please.
Yes, I think, like they always say in labor, that while negotiations are on, you don't need to stop work. And I want to apply it here. Lot of things that the Ogoni people have demanded. If it has been this good, I think the situation we find ourselves today, we wouldn't have found ourselves. The cleanup is always that the cleanup will last 5 years. From Buhari's time till this time, it's about that's 8 plus 4, 12 years. So imagine 35 years from that time.
But the quality of work, even for 12 years, doesn't seem to represent, the true picture. That's an argument many have, by the way.
Although it's very, like I said before, it's arguably because this type of job has not been done in any part of the world before, apart from the one of Gulf of Mexico that happened and the cleanup was done immediately. This one is over how many years right now? So the cleanup, I don't think anybody has a template to say, oh, this is how they did it in Mexico, this is how they did it in Afghanistan, or they did it in so-so place. So for me, that's why I said it's arguably. But while this is ongoing, a lot has been achieved over time. You have the Environment University, you have the Center for Excellence, you have the water reticulation, and so many other stuff that are going on. So I think it's high time too that those.
Yes, it's a good one, but I'm seeing it as being politically motivated. Ogoni 9, and there was a lot of agitation, and today they have compensated Ogoni 4. Looking at the cause of why those people nobody was able to even, because why I keep on saying this is this. All of us are from River State. Ogonis are the architects of their problem. Multiple groups laying claims on one thing. It does not bring development to the area. And Andrew, do you know that Ogoni is not the only oil producing community in River State? I'm from Eche. We have so many oil wells. Pollutions are also taking place in my area. And today, Ogoni people have locked their oil. Now you drill oil from Eche, from other places to take care of Ogonis. Are you seeing the marginalization there? That no two way that what they are gaining today from River State are allowing their oils to be used in making sure that that Ogoni people.
All right, Luga, thank you very much. Lucky on the line from Gokana and
good morning, Andrew.
yeah.
I'm calling from Gokana, that the environmental disaster in Ogoni. Obviously, it's well known that Ogoni has contributed to the economy of Nigeria since 1958, when oil was struck in Bomu in commercial